tower, the crank up tower?
Yes, now it's recording.
I didn't push record after you
Yeah, that's
did the
fine.
request. That's what it was. Okay. Well, problem solved
Should be the worst thing you ever did in your life.
that day.
That's a good question about the being my other trailer. I haven't thought about that. I have it set up kind of semi-permanently in my backyard. I do have a 20-foot extendable mast I'm going to be bringing with me. I'll have to think about that. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that or not, but
What event are you guys talking about?
I'll look for you. I'll look for you on the Polo app in the next couple of weeks here. The Ham 2K Polo app and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll see if I spot you out there.
Awesome.
Bruce just passed the extra exam.
Yay.
Oh.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now you don't have to read. Now you don't have to read any instructions any longer.
Right? Yeah. And you don't have to renew it for 10 years.
I can stop learning too.
Yeah. You know it all.
When I took the extra test, I told the guy next to me after we got our passing thing, and I said, "Wow, that's a relief. I don't have to do that for another 10 years." He almost had a heart attack.
Yeah. I felt a huge relief too. I passed it by like 2 questions. I was just like, oh, thank goodness.
Now, Bruce, every time someone asks you a question, you'll have the answer.
Yeah.
At least for the next week or so.
Let's tell them who to ask.
I'm still in the middle of a 10-week Zoom class. But a friend of mine at our breakfast club, Bob, Russ, he talked me into taking the test because one of his clubs was hosting exams last Saturday.
Yeah, I remember he mentioned it at breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
So I took the whole rest of the day on Friday and Friday evening and crammed for it and was able to pass it.
Yeah,
Very
when I took the extra, it was in 1982. I did it in 2 parts. I did the 20-word CW, and then a couple of weeks later, I took the written. It was just too much for my old brain. I could only do one thing at a time.
Hey, David.
I thought
I
Marconi gave you the. I thought Marconi gave you the test, Neil.
Well, yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marconi gave him the CW test, and Tesla gave him the written
right,
exam.
right.
Yeah, when I took the written part, though, that was on parchment paper.
Yeah. Right.
I thought you were going to talk. I thought you were going to talk about the clay tablets, Neil.
I did the Morse code test with semaphore flags.
And of course, you brought your own slide rule to the exam, right?
Yeah.
I thought he brought the abacus.
That's all right. You can laugh all you want, but there's a difference if you took that 20-word test. That was the stumbling block.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, the written, when I took it, was a lot easier. The hard test or the difficult test was the advanced.
Advanced, yeah.
The old advanced was a tough test. The old extra, when I took it, a lot of it was digital stuff. It was just kind of getting into the use then, so that was new.
You got your camera fixed.
Yeah, I just had to turn it on. Remember, it's a cell phone.
Oh,
It's an old cell phone, and I run an app called IV Cam, and it turns the cell phone into a wireless webcam.
Hmm.
And it actually works pretty well.
Yeah, it's a nice picture.
Mm-hmm.
And it has, it supports zoom and exposure control and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
What's amazing to me is what some of the more modern cell phone cameras can do. It really is pretty slick what they've done.
Mm-hmm. Dave, I was wondering if Dave in New Jersey, if you're still doing a lot of commercials, or how's the video stuff going lately?
You're muted, Dave.
But you can read lips. January and December are always slow. So it's starting to pick up now. I'm working a couple days a week.
Oh, okay. Is it
I haven't been doing
commercials?
POTA because of the snow. I mean, there's just no place to go.
Mm-hmm.
All the places that are parks, nothing's plowed.
Really?
I can't because nobody's going to go to the parks this time of year and park there. So it's I was out a couple days last week and trying to find one of the big parks had their parking lot plowed, but other than that, all the wildlife management areas, nothing's passable.
Mm-hmm. You still have a lot of snow in New Jersey then?
Yeah, because it's been. I mean, when I wake up in the morning, it's 3 or 4 degrees, and it doesn't get above 20 most of the time. It's 40 today, so it's balmy.
Yeah, we had that for a long time. We had below zero here.
Well, we had here we had almost a foot of snow, and then it turned into sleet, and then it turned into freezing rain. So the snow has about an inch of crust on top of it, and
I hate that freezing rain.
yeah,
it's nasty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to share a picture. Has nothing to do with ham radio. Sorry, but can anybody tell me what's interesting about this picture? I'll give you a hint. It's related to the Pacific Northwest.
There's a hole in the roof.
There's water damage there.
Well, I'll just tell you. So this was a sushi restaurant in downtown Portland that I went to last weekend. And the first thing to notice is the size of the beams holding up the ceiling.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
See that? And what makes this interesting is that the floor up there is the ceiling is the floor of the level above. Okay.
Oh.
And each one of these is at minimum a 2x6.
Mm-hmm.
And they might even be 2x8s. And yes, they're all old growth lumber. And this is how they made industrial factories strong enough to support machinery back in the day.
Oh.
We had so much lumber here, nice, clear, old growth lumber, that they could use it to make these floors that were 8, 10, 12 inches thick.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
And anyway, I just thought that was, when you're in town, going to restaurants and whatever, you see these old buildings that used to be industrial manufacturing buildings, now converted to restaurants and other uses.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure Ken could probably have a comment on that too, because he's intimately involved with the wood products industry like I've been.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
Well, my house is on post and beam construction with a crawl space, but the floor isn't nearly, we have 2x6 flooring in here, but the support structure underneath, I think, is on 48-inch centers. So the floor in the house is really stout. And the good news about that is it isn't bleeding chemicals. You buy a new house today, you need to let it air out for about 6 months before you try and move into it. else you'll be poisoned by the chemicals coming out of the manufactured wood.
Hey, Bruce,
Yeah.
did you see the cartoon I sent you?
On the messaging.
Yes.
Okay, let me go look.
In the chat.
Yeah, I got to go find it. Hang on. Chat.
Why do you keep making everyone look fatter than they are? Make them a little skinnier. You're gonna do all this AI stuff.
So which was that ChatGPT?
Yes.
So I learned that recently that I can use ChatGPT to write a little program that I've been wanting to have.
Yep, you can.
And what I need is a very simple program. I need a UDP port forwarding tool.
Oh,
I want to be able to enter a source IP address and a port and have this tool forward that to at least two ports of or addresses and ports of my choice. And I want it to be able to do either a loopback address or a multicast address.
You can do it in your router, but you can also open the microphone in the ChatGPT and just say what you just say here, and it will do it. It will ask you what language it will do it in, and so on. It will ask some details.
And I'm going to give that a try. One person suggested I try it in Python because Python doesn't need to be compiled. So I don't have a compiler, so I'm not going to do it in C.
No.
And so I need a language that is basically inherently executable.
Well, that's going to slow it down.
It will slow it down. That's true, but it doesn't need to be real fast.
No.
Because all I'm doing is I'm putting it in between my ham software so that I can route call signs and QSO data to multiple tools at the same time without having to get into really complicated setups in those programs. If you guys have played around with WSJTX, GridTracker, JTAlert, even your logging tool, all of those tools need UDP setups. And the problem with UDP is that unless you're using multicast, the first tool to capture the message consumes it. And so it disappears. So if you need that message to go to more than one program, you have to have a way of either forwarding it or creating a new message and sending it out so that the other program will get it.
Win4Yasu has that built in somehow, where you can connect several destinations.
Yes, and that's very similar to Win4ICOM. Or no, sorry, WF. I'm thinking about WFU.
WFU is a firewall program.
No, WFU is a regular interface for an ICOM receivers and transceivers.
Look, Bruce, SOCAT does exactly what you want to do.
So I know you've seen this diagram before, I think. Am I still sharing?
Yep.
Okay. So I've modified this a little bit. Last week I got remote access to work using WFU and NoMachine. And I was able to sit in a bar with my Chromebook and work my radio, which was really fun. Oops. But this is the problem I want to solve right here. So, as you can see, Log4OM is my logging tool.
Cannot see.
And I have WSJTX. I've got VAR-AC. I got a program called CatSync, which all that needs is rig control. It doesn't need UDP messaging.
Bruce, you're not sharing right now.
You're not sharing on the screen right now.
Oh, sorry. I thought I was.
So we cannot see what you see.
All right. So I'll do that again. Okay.
There.
And let me get rid of all this. Okay. So this is how I document my software architecture in my shack. And as I mentioned, I just got WFU to work, which, by the way, I can show you guys just for fun. So let's get rid of that. And WFU is right here.
Ooh, nice picture.
Courtesy of Microsoft. So this is WFU, and I should be able to just, oh no, in order for this to work, I have to go into my radio and I have to turn on CIV transceive. So if you guys are anybody that's an ICOM guy, I know you're all the ASU guys, but in ICOM, there's a switch called CIV transceive. And if I turn that on right now, boom, I'm now connected.
And that switch is in the radio.
So here's my radio right here. And this is a free remote access tool, and it works over the Ethernet port. So I don't even have to plug it into a USB card. And let's go to 20 meters. I mean, I didn't share with audio where you could hear it, but I won't force you to listen to all that static. Let me do a quick tune and see if it gets any better. Okay, I can turn down. Oh, I can turn down. Yeah, see, I can turn down RF gain from right here. And so it is getting in and controlling my radio, which is cool. And let's go up a little bit. Yeah, it's pretty quiet out there at the moment. There's somebody. So, but because this is running in my Windows app, software, I can run it with NoMachine, which is this thing right here, and I can push it out over the internet to wherever I happen to be sitting. It's a cool tool, and the developers, I believe, are now making a version of this for a few Yaesu radios, including, Ken, your FT710. All right, but that's not what I was showing you.
And what's it called, Bruce?
I like to be able to mix and match my software. I don't want to just make one setup and then use it forever. And especially with all the different versions of WSJT and GridTracker and JTAlert, if you're using that. The problem with JTAlert is that it does not allow you to specify the UDP port that it listens to for call sign and QSO data. The way it gets that connection is by reading the port number out of the configuration file for WSJTX. So, you can't change it from whatever is in WSJTX, and you can't change WSJTX without messing up your connection to your other software.
Test 1, 2, 3.
And that is the reason I need a port forwarder, because I could fool it by sending that same UDP message, and I could choose a different port for log4OM, say, and then have GridTracker capture that port. And that's why I'm looking to do this. It would also let me flip back and forth between GridTracker and JTAlert or whatever these other tools are. I could have them all installed, and I could just pick one to run without having to go through a whole bunch of reconfiguration each time. So that's the main reason I want to do that. And I learned that an AI tool like ChatGPT could do that for me. So I'm excited to try that. That'll be another learning process. But gosh darn it, why does it keep doing that? Anyway, PowerPoint's a great tool for documenting your shack. I use PowerPoint a lot when I was working, and it's fun to be able to put this together and have something to reference. It has all my IP addresses and port numbers, and over here, if I decide to use N1MM, like I want to do a contest or something, I want to still be able to use Log4OM. However, N1MM does not use OmniRig, and all of these other tools are using OmniRig. And so in order to make both of them work, that's when I turn on the virtual port splitter, VSPE. So now I can share COM8 between OmniRig and N1MM, and now everybody gets to play. So that works pretty well too. Anyway, that was my thought about writing a program with an AI tool. And those of you that have Yaesu radios or even an ICOM, you might look into WFU and play around with that. So let's see. This is a forum. Forum. There we go.
I'm sorry, Bruce, but I didn't know you were saying WFU, Victor India Echo Whiskey.
Windows. Maybe it's in the roadmap.
It looks like it mostly does ICOM and Kenwood radios.
The download tab up there.
About ICOM. I know I saw a comment somewhere. This is the current list of radios. User manual. Let's go back to that forum because it must have been in there.
It's a feature request. And since the Yaesu radios don't have an Ethernet port.
This is years old. This is 2022. So I know I saw this. Well, anyway, I won't force you to watch me search for it. But
ask ChatGPT to find it.
Oh, here we go. Version 2.2 in February this month introduces support for the FT710. There you go, Ken. See if we can find it. There it is. New release adds limited support for a number of Yaesu radios. Scope data only supported on the 710 for now. So anyway, if you feel like playing without, check it out.
Ed, is that a red shirt?
Yes, it's a Mustang shirt.
Oh, of course, yes.
There are a few things it can't do because ICOM doesn't have a cat control feature to let it do that. And one of the things that I've noticed it doesn't do well is that it doesn't have a good transmit indicator. So the ICOM radio has a nice TX, kind of a icon on the screen, and when you transmit, it changes to a red with a white background. But if I do that here, and I transmit, your only real is that the waterfall freezes and you can see some activity on the power on the so that's really the only clue that it's transmitting. The other thing that it doesn't do, which I really wish it did, it doesn't have the equivalent of a true push to talk button for the keyboard. So for example, you cannot assign the spacebar to be a push to talk key. The way you go into transmit when you're remote is you got to use a control sequence. So Control T for transmit and Control R for receive. I find that annoying. The developers assumed that when you're doing remote, you're in a place where you have resources around you. You got a computer, maybe you have a vacation home and you're doing it from a vacation home back to your home QTH. They kind of assume that you have that kind of a resource. And they also assume that you might be using a USB external control, like ICOM sells one of those. It has the knob and the transmit button on it, and you plug it into a USB port. But I wanted to play with this simply so I could do it with just a laptop and nothing else, wherever I happen to be, maybe at a bar, maybe who knows where, maybe on my couch watching a football game. And that is where NoMachine comes out. So NoMachine is it's like a VNC or other remote access. And somehow I'm not getting any responses here at the moment. Let's disconnect from the radio. Look at that. Looks like some part of my desktop has locked up. Let's exit. Yes. Yeah, this one. Yeah, how about that? Oh, well. I was going to show you NoMachine. Actually, I can do it this way. NoMachine is a free remote access software product. They do have, I say free, it has a free version, which is perfect for me. Although they do sell it for like business usage and so forth and so on. I got it initially so that I could connect to my Innovato Quadra ham clock. And so it's convenient to demonstrate that. By the way, I'm talking a lot. If you guys would rather go off on a different subject, please let me know. I should pay attention to the chat, so in case you want to interrupt me. So hang on, I'll go.
Neil, wake up.
Chat somewhere.
I'm awake. I'm just listening.
Do that. No, don't want to do that. I'm gonna bring it over here. Okay, so now I can look at chat. So if you need to hit me up. So a quick demo of NoMachine. I'm gonna hit my Innovato, my Quadra. And so it brings up a client window and it should connect to my Quadra. And there it is. So this is the ham clock running on my Innovato Quadra, little Quadra Linux computer. And I like to do this way. I can then tuck this away. I like this because I can make it small. I can put it wherever I want. I can put it on a different monitor. If I had a big monitor, I could put it up there. A lot of people use these and they dedicate an entire monitor or a giant TV and put that up behind their shack or behind their shack desk. I'd rather not waste all that space. I'd rather have that space to do other things with and mix and match. And so getting access to that ham clock with remote access is a great way to do that. So NoMachine is built into most of the newer Innovato Quadras, but you can install it on an old one if you happen to have an old one. And you can also exit ham clock from here. So if I go to the exit button in ham clock and I say shut down or just exit ham clock, what will happen? Yes, I'm sure. Is that I get the the Linux desktop for the Innovato Quadra. So if people want to play around with Linux and learn Linux, the little Quadra is a great way to do that. And doing it with remote access is great also, because now I don't have to have a separate keyboard and a mouse that plugs into the Quadra box. I can just use my Windows desktop to do that. And so if I wanted to launch something like a web browser, well, actually the web browser is right here. I could launch Firefox from inside this thing. It's a full Linux desktop. So if you want to learn about Linux and play around with it, you can easily do that from your own desktop in Windows without having to have separate monitors or any of that. So this is just Firefox. That's the welcome screen. And I don't know if I have anything else. I can create a new tab. And I could go, for example, to google.com. That's just another way to access and use the, and this would work with a Raspberry Pi. It'll work with the Innovato boxes. Whatever you want to do. So it's pretty cool. I am not a robot. Click allow to confirm that you are not a robot. I'm not sure why it's continuing to ask me that. Let's try. It looks like it's got. Let's go to www.google.com. There we go. So anyway, so after I had this running with the Innovato, it's not the fastest. As you can see, there's some lag. It's not a very strong, powerful box, right? We get that. I thought, well, maybe I could use that to get remote access to my WFU software and able to access my station and radio remotely. And that's exactly what I did. Before I close this, I'm going to restart Ham Clock, which is right here. So I can skip this because I don't need to enter setup. I think I can skip this too, but I'll let it do its thing. Udo, are you still there?
Oh yeah, I'm here.
Oh, you know what, guys? I apologize. I had my volume turned down. You were probably yelling at me and I didn't hear you. So Udo, are you listening?
Yeah, I'm here.
So is it necessary for me to let it go through this whole startup sequence, or can I just hit the skip button all the way through?
You can skip.
All right.
Because unless you want to make any changes.
Right. Okay. As a reminder, everybody, I'm sure maybe you know this already because Udo is here, but Udo is taking over the creation of a new version of the Innovato Quadra. He's using the exact same hardware. He's putting the exact same firmware image on it, and he has his own name. I think it's called the HXR box. Is that right?
HK1.
HKR box. So Udo is taking over where Innovato has left off. And then, and then of course there's the whole topic about what's going on with Ham Clock itself, but that's a whole nother gig. So I can just close this out of the way. I can't really do I don't have I should install the NoMachine client. This is the NoMachine server. And so I can't show you WFU running in a remote window with this setup. But anyway, I that was a long-winded and full of little circuitous paths, but it's interesting. And it started off with learning how to do UDP port forwarding. The UDP port forwarding or UDP messaging between Ham software is one of the most confusing things for many people, including me. Trying to get that work with lots of different tools turned out to be a challenge for me because I was not a programming expert or a UDP guy. So a lot of experimentation was what I had to do to get it all to work, not to mention Googling. But I really think that a simple UDP port forwarding tool would be a huge help for many people trying to do custom setups with their software. So
I think you lost some of your audience, Bruce.
yeah, I think I did.
So Bruce, you're talking about creating this tool specifically for Windows.
Yes. Now, if I was smarter about programming, I know it could be made to work in Linux too, or even Apple for that matter.
Well, there are tools already for that do this in Linux. There's software called SOCAT, and there is software called UDP Reserve that allows multiple connections, creates the ability to create multiple connections, all reading the same UDP port.
That would be very helpful with one disadvantage. If you're running it in a separate Linux operating system, then it would only be able to capture multicast messages from a separate Windows computer, right? Because loopback messages on that computer would only be within the same operating system. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So that would be somewhat limiting unless you could specify, well, you would have to use a multicast approach for other tools, which is something I haven't played around with yet. And that could actually solve some of my problems. I'm not smart enough yet to set that up.
Well, I use Gemini with Google search, and Gemini came up with all of this. I'd also like to congratulate you. I think it's really cool that you recognize NoMachine is loaded on the more recent Innovato machines. And so you're using it as a remote access tool to play with a Linux desktop and learn about that.
Yes.
My personal preference is for an open source tool. NoMachine is a commercial tool with a proprietary with a free tier. Rust Desk is an open source tool that runs on Windows and Linux. I don't know about Macs. And does everything NoMachine does and more, and does not, as NoMachine does, send your info to the NoMachine home base. You can run your own server for Rust Desk and be totally self-contained.
I have heard of that, and I don't remember why I didn't try it first, but I think it was because Mike Burmeister Brown at Innovato told me that he had preloaded NoMachine onto the Quadra.
Yeah, that's exactly. So why would you do anything else?
Yeah.
It makes perfect sense. For me, I'm in Florida at the moment, and before I left, I set up my 101 MP with RC4 for remote operation. And as the fallback, I'm running Rust Desk on that machine. And I have it on the laptop here, so that if need be, I can get to my home computer and fix things. And actually, I have all of it on a tail net. I'm not sure if anyone here is aware of tail scale, but tail scale is a commercial product, a VPN with a free tier that allows you to create a network. It has apps for Windows, Mac, multiple flavors of Linux, iOS, and Android. And by the way, for DL, iNets, KVM little boxes. And the advantage of using a tailnet is you can connect all of these things without opening any ports in your firewall or in your router. No port forwarding.
I'm actually familiar with Tailscale as well because also Mike at Innovato references Tailscale. I think it's also installed on the Quadra, and so I don't remember again why I chose NoMachine over Tailscale, but it was eeny, meeny, miny, mo at the time. But yeah, I think they're both installed on the Innovato Quadra. Those tools do make it fun to mix and match and expand the reach of your shack, right?
Yep.
And that's fun. And thanks, Ari, for the picture. That's fun. Speaking of fun.
Anyone going to Hamcation this weekend?
Yes. I'm
Okay.
I'm in Cocoa Beach right now, and I'll be in Ocoee Thursday evening.
So please enlighten me on Hamcation.
It's Dad, Steve.
Hamcation is a large, claimed to be the second largest ham fest in the U.S. after Hamvention in Xenia, Ohio. Although I think what's the one in Alabama?
Huntsville.
Huntsville. Yeah, the Huntsville people disputed a little bit. But anyway, I've been down to Hamcation the last several years, and I've enjoyed it a lot.
Hamvention, the Orlando event, to me, I've been there twice. I call it a mini Dayton because all the big guys are there. And at Huntsville, that's not the case. I've been to Huntsville a number of times because it's only a couple of hours away. But to me, the Hamcation is, if you can't get to Xenia, that's the place to go, is to Orlando for Hamcation. It's a good ham fest.
And if you live up north and you're going to go someplace warm in February, it gives you a good reason to get your wife to focus on going to Florida.
Right.
Of course, it helps that her sister is in Boynton Beach. So,
how do you ship all the gear you buy at a place like that back home? You know, when
Actually, I was thinking about going to visit Ed so I can see the Rig of the Month Club.
So the way you do it, Bruce, is since I'm down here for 3 weeks, I took the auto train down.
Mm-hmm.
And I also have a friend from home who drove, he and his wife spent most of a week getting down to these environs with a Honda Passport. And in previous years, I threw an amplifier in the back of Bill's Passport, and you know, friends will do freight hauling for you even without paying for kicking in for the gas.
Well, I'm going to go to Dayton, or excuse me, we have a little one. We have a little one coming up here in near us in the Salem area. What's that called again, Bob?
Not the one with the C.
Rick
come to me about 9 o'clock tonight. I'll remember.
It's the Rick Rial Ham Fest.
Yeah, Rick Rial. That's it.
And I also heard that there's a bigger one up in Washington in Puyallup. And by the way, Bob, I heard that maybe you did too, that the Rick Rial site might go away because that fairground is not in good shape. They're struggling.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yep. So Udo, what's the latest? You and I have been scrambling around on social media trying to keep the people who don't know what they're saying in line.
I feel like sometimes it's like a fighting for fires in 7 fronts.
Oh my gosh. Have you heard any more from Keith?
No. The only thing I pretty much is like I'm following what's happening with these guys who create this new backend. And Michael sent me an email that he's working on, as soon as that's stable, making a new image with an installer, which then simplifies the upgrade way.
Yeah.
So we'll see what that happens. But
you probably saw, I told one person that you could probably do that as well.
Yeah.
With your little box down the road.
Yeah, I mean, it's sometimes it's like you just look at the stuff people are spilling out and you just shake your head and I'm like, oh my God, what the hell? Like,
have any of the rest of you guys seen this? One of the things that's come out of the Ham Clock deal with the developer passing was a couple of people, one in particular, have created basically a new version of Ham Clock called Open Ham Clock. Have any of you?
That's pretty nice. Out of the Philadelphia area, out of Penn Wireless Association. The computer guy there.
I'm not too keen about it.
Yeah, I'm not too keen about it either. And the people who are doing the new back ends, I hope they have enough vision to think about other tiles that folks might want. For example, FreeDV dashboard and the FreeDV who's talking dashboard. And while you're at it, there's a lot of digital mode dashboards that would be wonderful in a Ham Clock tile.
I questioned that actually recently in a post. Someone was saying, "Oh yeah, I want spots on my Ham Clock," and I mean, looks like we can see that right here. But my question was, well, almost all logging tools have a connection to the clusters, right? And then if you're using FT8, you've got GridTracker and you've got JTAlert, which are all really sophisticated spotting and interactive spotting tools. So with those available, why would I want to use this?
Yeah, plus
because my friend who wants to use this does tons of POTA, carries a Chromebook, and runs his ham clock in a DMZ, and with spotting on his ham clock from a lightweight Android phone or Chromebook, he can get his spots
So does
out in the field.
so is that a connected system? Does Open Ham Clock actually have built-in cat control? So I can
No.
So I can't click on them. All I can do is see them.
Right.
Okay. See, that's the other limitation is it doesn't have the back end, right?
I think you can collapse that panel too.
It wasn't Open Ham Clock that my friend Chris K0BUF was so excited about. Open Ham Clock doesn't really have a great thing about spots, but the guys who are building the robust back end had an example with POTA spots up. And that was what got Chris all excited.
And
Well,
I see it this way. I mean, right now the highest priority is to make the current ham clock continue to work. So that then now there's a fresh team on it. Now there is room for improvements down the road, you know.
mm-hmm.
And you know, like if there's people say, oh, well, can we make that? Can we have that? Sure. I mean, it's just, yeah, you know, people want to do something. And now it's a challenge now to get this going. And so I think there is still a lot of life left in the current ham clock as it is today. Yeah,
I agree.
I see a little bit of problem with a website like that. I don't know the architecture and behind how much traffic the website actually does, if the whole pages are dished out from their server directly, or is it a thick client? You know,
That's a good point, Udo. Let's imagine
what runs on your machine and what runs on the back end. You know,
right.
And that's the advantage of ham clock, because you have everything local and you only shuffle data back and forth. The traffic on your network isn't very high.
Well, not just the traffic on our network, but the traffic to the back end server as well.
Yeah, right. And I see for something like that, the solution that might be challenging, you know, if suddenly 1,000 or 2,000 people start hitting the server, you know.
Yeah.
What happens, you know? So
well, it is pretty, you know, and it does have the advantage that there is a web only version. I mean, that's an advantage.
I mean, that might have some place for people who want to quickly look at something on a Windows machine and open up a browser. So that's fine. But yeah, I like especially my main screen is the one with the PSK reporter, because I look at it and I know exactly what the action is and in which direction and what band, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem with these DX spotting sites is you have to have your filter set right, so you only get stuff which is really relevant for your location. Yeah. What does it help me if somebody in Ohio listens to, or hears a DX station or works a DX station, and I'm like a couple hundred miles away from it? I don't hear them, you know.
Well, here's the filter for Open Ham Clock right here.
Yeah.
Bands, modes, watch list, settings, spot retention. I mean, at a glance, it looks, you know, like it's a good start, right?
Right, it's a good start, but it's needs a lot of work still.
Yeah. Huh. All right.
And then the other question I have is, you know, with all these options where you have to set your filters yourself and everything else, and lots of people put out of that. I said, oh, I don't want to mess with all these options. You know? I want to, switch it on out of the box, and 90% of the stuff is okay, and then I tweak a little bit, but not like I have to reconfigure my whole interface. You know.
I wonder where, for example, this tool. I wonder what cluster is talking to, and for example, well, here it is, PSK reporter. Okay, so that's probably the best cluster for FT8. Would you disagree with that?
Yeah, no, and it's FT8 and CW. Because they get the feed from CW skimmers. And, and I can put in a locator, a grid locator, and then I know what PSK reporter gives me is relevant for my area.
Yeah. I just noticed that it does appear to have a UDP engine. So where it was there, now where did it go? Stations you were hearing. Oh, yeah. Local decodes via UDP relay. So that's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty much when you run WSJT on a machine, you can direct it there, and then you see the spots in what you have locally available,
Oh, look at this. Download the relay agent. Wouldn't that be a port forwarder?
It could be, or it could be just an interface for that.
Linux, Mac, Windows. Let's see what it leads me to. Oh, it's a batch file. That's interesting. Let's take a look at that.
Yeah, let's see what they do with it.
Come on. Oh, I forgot my desktop is frozen. So let's do it this way.
Should be able to do edit, right? Or open with.
No, I don't want to open. I want to. Yeah, I'm looking for open with. I don't see an open with.
Change the extension to TXT. It should open with no.
Oh, great idea.
Oh, they're using Node.js. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, Node.js. What is that, Udo?
That is what can I call it? A shell, maybe a powerful shell. Node-RED uses it. Node-RED uses it.
JavaScript runtime.
Yeah, and it's a JavaScript.
Does it have a GUI of its own, or is it a command line?
No, it's a command line. You use something on top of it. For example, Node-RED uses that in the background.
Huh. Yeah. Well, it sounds like it might do what I'm looking for, right?
I'm trying to see what it does.
Okay, guys. I need a nap before dinner. I did not sleep terribly well on the train last night.
Go along, Steve.
Hey, take care.
Thank you.
See you next week.
With you. catch up with you next week, and Ed, maybe I'll bump into you
Yeah.
at Hamcation.
Look for the red shirt. Look for the red shirt.
Okay. And Ed,
No,
you
look
can
for the car.
for the
Look for the car that makes a loud noise.
well, Saturday at noon at the flagpole.
I'm going up on Friday.
Uh-huh.
Saturday's Valentine's Day, and I'll get killed if I go up on Saturday.
Okay.
I'll end up being
look for
dead.
you on Friday.
Yeah.
Take care, Steve.
Bye-bye.
I
I'll have to research that. It might work, but I think it would still be fun to use AI to create a simple dedicated port forwarder.
yeah.
I found a nifty little website that if I could share, maybe I could show you.
Yeah, go for it. I've been hogging the share, so
Go ahead, Dave.
All right. So what this is it's VE2ZDX is the developer of this, and he says this thing called a toolkit here, and these are all the things that it'll do for you. YouTube QSO search, which I'll show you in a minute. ADF to YouTube, which is something that a YouTube content creator would use. POTA cluster, merging ADF files like ADF master does, Morse code and QSL generator. So the thing that people that aren't creators would use to find if you are in anybody else's YouTube video. So, for example, I'll go in here and I'll put my call sign in. Okay, I'm in these two videos. So I'll click on that and I go down and
Park to Park, Kilo 3, Juliet Romeo Zulu.
it gives me the time, and if I click on it, it takes me to that point in the video.
To Park, Kilo 3, Juliet Romeo.
interesting.
Yeah. So the way that it works is you take your ADIF file and you upload it, and you go to the time of your very first contact. Like most YouTubes, when I do a YouTube on my activations, it's a couple minutes of BS, and then we get into the contacts. So if my first contact was 3 minutes and 10 seconds into the video, I would put 3 minutes and 10 seconds up here in this spot, and that would determine the offset, and that kind of syncs everything together. And then what that does is gives you it gives you the call signs from the ADF file and the time. It creates two things. It creates that thing that I just clicked on to show you where you are, and it also creates an index that you put in the description in your YouTube, a chapter index with a timestamp for each contact. So I just thought that was pretty interesting.
Huh.
No, who else wants to be a victim here and try this?
But that's only for POTA, right?
Well, it's any YouTube video, but I mean,
Yeah, but
most of the ones on here are
you
POTA.
need an IDF file. I mean,
Yeah, anything that makes an ADI file.
yeah.
Is Eric still here?
No.
Dave, what's your call sign? See if yours showed up in anything here.
Whiskey 7, Oscar Mike.
No, you're not in anybody's video.
Hmm.
You're in some of mine, but I haven't uploaded them all yet. The one drawback that I found, and I contacted the guy about it, who was very responsive, was that if you edit your video, like if you cut out dead air time, it throws that whole time syncing off, and it won't work anymore. So when you make the video, you have to not cut out any of your dead air time.
So what, I don't understand why the time sync is important.
The time sync is important because if your ADI file will say that the contact was at 1 o'clock even, and if your video, if you just put that in there, it'll make that at 000 on your video. It won't synchronize it with when that contact shows up in the video. So if you take your first contact and that first contact shows up in the final video at 3 minutes in, then when you put the 3 minutes in there, it synchronizes back to the other guy, and then everything after that will be in sync.
So this only searches for QSO data on YouTube.
Yes.
Okay.
So somebody in the park makes a video of themselves?
Yes.
Yeah.
What?
Well, I don't think it doesn't parse the actual video. It just says, "Hey, your first piece is at this time. Your video starts at this time."
Well, I do it, Udo. I put like I'll do antenna comparisons or something else that somebody might find interesting. All of my 3 viewers.
I was thinking it would find any reference to your call sign at all on YouTube.
If you're in a video that somebody uploaded, it will find it.
So
how would it find
that's the whole key to the thing.
Only would find it if I load up my my QSO data.
Right. And have a video.
I see. Have any of you guys ever talked to K5KAB? Kerry Brown? He's in Texas, and what he does is he has a YouTube channel, and he gets on the air and he'll live stream the QSO that he's having with you on YouTube.
Yeah. There's a couple people that do that.
He's actually a kick. He's fun to talk to. He's got a great personality. He calls himself Kilowatts and Bourbon. I've actually hit him up several times, and it's been fun to chat with him. He's very dynamic. I love all the utilities. There's so many cool utilities these days. You know, it's almost a topic for a whole meeting, right? It's like, what are the cool utilities that everybody's using?
There's half a dozen that I've come across just for POTA.
Oh yeah, they're everywhere. I mean, I talk about my favorite one a lot, which is CatSync, which synchronizes my VFO with an online web SDR.
Yep.
There's so many that are very cool.
Neil, don't do that.
And since I'm a Mac guy, I prefer the web-based ones to the apps. But things like GridTracker and SJTX have Mac versions too, so that works out. But like Win for Yaesu doesn't, it says it right in the name. Not Mac for Yaesu.
So is anybody using an automatic backup tool for your Shack PC?
Yeah, I use Acronis.
Okay, that's one.
I'm using a, oh Lord, what is it called? I have it upstairs, not in the shack though.
I use Acronis.
Thank you.
I have an old version of Acronis. But I need to do that because I've spent a lot of time getting it set up.
I use a cloud-based backup service called Backblaze.
Well, but But doesn't that only back up your data? I'm talking about backing up
This
Windows.
will back up your everything but your actual applications.
But that's what I need backed up.
Yeah, I don't back up anything. I have my data in the cloud and that's it. The computer is a throwaway item. If something happens, I just redo it.
Which cloud resource do you use, Udo?
OneDrive, and and Google, but mostly OneDrive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do too. I even store I log to my OneDrive folder.
Yeah. Well, I log to cureset.com, so that's another cloud, Yeah.
Right.
But, yeah, I'm like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 computers. I mean, if one goes away, I grab the other one, and then that one gets redeployed. I mean, I redeploy machines all the time. So
how about Windows 11? Have you bought into that yet?
I think I don't even have any Windows 10 machine anymore left. Everything
Really?
is Windows 11, yeah.
Okay. I'm a holdout.
Yeah, no, like even old machines I converted over to 11, which Microsoft.
Yeah, me too.
I
did that with.
Says they're not cable, but they run just fine.
Did you use Rufus to do that?
No, I use edit in the registry. Yeah.
Oh, so to do that, so you have to create an image file for that, right?
Actually, no. There is a way you can just spend the registry and then you do your online upgrade, and it works. Yeah.
Oh, so you go from Windows 10 to Windows 11.
Yeah.
But okay.
I have the process written down because I cannot remember in my head all the steps. But there's a certain registry areas you have to bend or say, don't disregard.
Yeah.
I mean, it. Of course, it's not working if you had a Windows 7 machine or something like that. Like steam powered or something. It has to have a certain requirements, but it's mainly the trust platform chip what the Windows 11 is looking for, which I don't really care about. I don't need it. So it most of the time works.
I'm going to grab one more time. I know I've talked about this, but I want to talk about my other favorite Windows utility, which I've mentioned. Oh, I can't because I'm sorry, I can't because my desktop is still locked up. Actually, I bet I know. I wonder if I could do it this way. Let's see here. So if I go to start Google. Start.
Hey, Bruce, this is David.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to come in late, but I use EaseUS to do, and that they'll take any external hard drive or your whole computer and back it up automatically by itself, so you don't have to do it. It does it by itself.
How do you spell that? EASU?
EASEUS.
Okay. ESUS.
So that would make a backup of any hard drive that you have in your system, or it'll back up, if you have an A backup drive like I do, and then you want it to clone to B, so then you have your main and then you have your backup, that would do automatically.
I will look into that.
Yeah, and then another one would be Backblaze.
Backblaze.
Yeah, that's another one. So either one of those two would do what you want. I'm sorry, I always come in late just to listen to you guys have to speak.
I used that's what I was talking about, Backblaze that I use, and I have about 65 terabytes uploaded to that, and it's all one price.
Yes, exactly.
But you have to keep the drives plugged in. That's the only key.
That's the only thing. Yeah, you have to keep your drives plugged in.
And if you ever lose a drive, goes bad, they will put all your data on another drive. You send them $200, they'll send you the drive, and if you send them the drive back, they'll give you your $200 back.
Yes.
Now wait a minute. Are we talking about backing up data or backing up the operating system?
Not the operating system.
Because that's what I'm talking. I mean, for me, I already back up my data in the cloud with OneDrive and Google Drive. I'm
Okay.
talking about backing up the computer and all the apps that are already installed on it.
That would be Ease US.
Okay. Okay. Ease US. I got it. I got that written down. Still trying to figure out how to get my desktop. Hey, Udo, you know any way to reset a desktop without closing everything?
You probably want to restart your service.
Right, but that
Not the
or it could even be the Explorer service, right?
It depends what service is locked up, but
Let's see here. Zoom.
See you guys next week.
All right.
Take care, Ed.
I do agree with Uno. Sometimes where you just keep your data separate and the computer is just a tool, right? So when it goes down, you load up your programs that you really need and you just bring your data back and it keeps your computer clean.
And you're right. The only problem with that is sometimes the configuration of the programs and all the different messaging between them and the UDP ports and all that stuff is tricky.
Yes. Yeah, I agree.
That's the part I'm trying to avoid.
Yeah. But I like I said, I agree with Una because once your machine goes down or something's wrong, when you reboot and you put your 3 best programs in, everything is nice and clean and super fast.
Right.
I mean, it's advisable to redo Windows everywhere, like every 6 months to
Yeah.
Because with all the updates they push down, you get so much clutter and stuff. Yeah.
I usually dump once a year. Once a year, I usually dump.
Because you will be surprised suddenly your machine runs faster. Yeah?
Yes.
So Ken is not online anymore, I don't think, but he uses business class versions of the operating systems.
And
what that does is it gets rid of all the junk because businesses don't care or want any of the junk.
Yeah, that's on my work machine. It's the same. On my work machine here, we have our own Windows version, Siemens. It's totally managed by our people. I don't do anything on that thing, and if that ever gets, if I get a new machine, it pulls itself out of the swamp and everything, I have everything set up.
I have to get going, guys, but I'm going to leave this signed in so the recording continues. So
take care, Dave. Thanks.
See you next week.
Hey, Dave.
Bye.
Well, I'm not having any. I'll probably have to log out in order to fix this.
Gentlemen, where's the recording stored? Does that go out as an email, or I didn't know there was a recording that I could see after if I miss?
Well, in Zoom, it gets processed after the meeting, and then the administrator gets a link. Then you can download it.
They're all on YouTube. Search for Yesu Zoomers.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
So everything we've recorded is on there.
Thank you.
Yep.
I didn't know.
Where is your? It's probably my. What are you trying to do? Your desktop?
Yeah, my desktop is locked up.
Microsoft service, I think.
Well, I have another service running or another program running called Fences, and I'm wondering if that could have been the problem. But
that could be.
If I shut down Explorer, that's going to shut down my whole desktop.
Well, yeah, but where is your?
Crashpad, Dimension 4. Really don't need that running.
All right, I see it. I was subscribed, but I didn't have the alerts on. Okay, now I got it. Thank you.
Hey, Udo, here's a question. Why does Microsoft load up so many different instances of things like Chrome?
Look how many windows of Chrome you have open down there. One, two, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's about.
Okay, that makes sense. Let's see here. Malwarebytes. Yeah, I don't have any instances of Edge running except.
Right, but that's a Microsoft thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even if you close it, they probably will open up again.
Yeah, you're probably right. Edge. Look at all these.
Yeah, I know.
WebView. Wow.
There might be something that might be hanging there. So.
And why is click to run running? Let's see. OneDrive sync, Microsoft Store. Don't need that.
Well, that's the price you pay for.
Yeah, I know. I know.
If you don't want the stuff, you have to run Linux, right?
Yeah.
You do everything by hand.
Yep, I get it.
Yeah.
Search settings. Man, there's a lot. Software update. This might be related to it. I don't know what this is, but
I should tell you what it is. Hang on.
Start menu experience host.
Oh, that's the start
Yeah.
process.
Yep. Let's see here. Windows Audio. Windows Host. Ah, there's a lot. Windows Shell. Got Zoom. Well, I don't know what it could be. Service host. Oh well. Windows startup applications. Let's try this again. Stardock. Stardock. Let's look at it in here. N1MN, PQ Mark S. Start out, there we go. Yeah, I think this is the problem because it should execute this rather than sending up this
What?
Normally works pretty good.
Okay, fellas, I got to flee. I'll leave this up. You guys continue on, and I'll shut it down later whenever you're done. Anyway, see you next week.
See you, Bob. Thanks. Have a good rest of your week.
Yep, you too.
All right. Well, I'm not going to mess around here, Udo. We can break.
Hey, Bruce, I have a question.
Yeah.
You have an old Quadra?
I do.
Hey, you want a new one for it?
I actually have two old ones.
Okay. Because I need to get somehow my hands on a old one so I can test stuff.
I'd be happy to trade one of my old ones for one of your.
I'll send you a new one.
So yeah, I've got. Let's see here.
Yeah.
I think they're right here. Nope, that's not it. Anyway, I know I have two old ones. For sure, I'd be happy to send you one.
Is your address okay in QSet?
It is.
Okay, good. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, next time when I do shipping, I pack one up and send it out.
Very good. That'd be fine. I'll send you one.
Yeah.
So, have you talked to? You said you talked to Michael recently.
Yeah, he sent me an email yesterday about his plans, and so.
How's he doing?
It's very hard to say, like.
Yeah.
I mean. I mean, I see him constantly being in his forum answering questions, like so.
Right. Yeah. Well, I'm glad, I mean, that's
I
a
mean,
good sign.
that's the only thing what probably keeps you alive is keep going, like
Right. Right.
being active. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I'm going to blast.
Yeah, I'm too. I have to take the dog, so she's like.
GLI mobile and monitoring. GLI mobile.
Yeah, it's okay.
All righty, guys.
She's
Dave,
doing her
Dave,
dance, so
Neil.
she wants to go out here. So okay, everybody take care. Have a nice evening.
We'll be in touch. See you, Udo.
Yeah. Bye.
Thank you, gentlemen, for putting this up. I'll try to come in earlier. And Udo, before he's gone.